Hi, this is reading video number 2 for Wednesday. On the back of your parts of the model literary essay is writing complete sentences. So you'll need to turn that over, and we're going to be working on this part. I want you following along with me. A complete sentence has a subject with a predicate and expresses a complete thought. A complete sentence begins with a capital letter. A complete sentence ends with an end mark, either a period, a question mark, or an exclamation point. Examples: William Carlos Williams was a poet. This short poem helps us understand the beauty of the common wheelbarrow. If the sentence is not complete, it's either a fragment or a run-on sentence. Avoid fragments and run-on sentences in formal writing. A fragment is missing either a subject or a predicate, so it is not a complete thought. So I want you to remember, we did talk a little bit about subjects and predicates. Subjects are who the sentence is about. So a person, place, or thing. The predicate is what the sentence or what the subject of the sentence is doing. So that would be an action. So an example of a sentence would be Mrs. Barber is visiting the Grand Canyon. Mrs. Barber is the subject. Visiting the Grand Canyon would be your predicate. So let's go ahead and I'm going to do these 2 examples with you real quick, okay? We're going to label them. So I want you paying close attention to this, okay? Inspired by everyday objects in the lives of common people. Inspired by everyday objects in the lives of common people. There is no subject to that sentence. So complete sentence is okay. So it says if the sentence is not complete, it's either a fragment or a run-on. Avoid fragments. So is it a complete sentence? No. But who was inspired by everyday objects? That would be William Carlos Williams. So you could change that sentence to William Carlos Williams was inspired. And if you continue to write the rest of that, by everyday objects in the lives of common people, that would make it a complete sentence. So go ahead and finish that sentence in that box. William Carlos Williams about the things he knew. What? Does that even sound complete? It is definitely not complete. So it is a fragment. So we would write William Carlos Williams wrote about the things he knew. A run-on sentence has more than one subject with a predicate. But the subjects with the predicates are joined without correct punctuation or a conjunction. So here's a run-on sentence. He made notes about things he had heard. He wrote poems about them. So we could use a conjunction, which is and, but, or, and there's others, but I'm forgetting them right now. I'm sorry. So right here, it's not a complete sentence, so you would write no. But what we could write is he made notes about things he had heard, and. So right here, we're going to write and. I want you to write that whole sentence out. So it should read, he made notes about the things he heard and he wrote poems about them. That makes it a complete sentence. It's not a run-on. So please make sure you write that complete sentence out there in that box. My favorite poem by William Carlos Williams is The Wood Thrush. I like to watch birds. Not a complete sentence. You could say, my favorite poem by William Carlos Williams is The Wood Thrush because I like to watch birds, or and I like to watch birds. So go ahead and make a complete sentence for that sentence as well, right here. Right here in this blank space, I want you to write one complete sentence with the subject and the predicate, capital letter, punctuation mark, about your expert poet. So whoever you've been researching, I want you to write a complete sentence right up here about them. Let's look down here. capital letter. Let's circle those. We got I, we got W, we got H, and we got M. Those are our capital letters. Punctuation, circle it, period, 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 period. Our subject, we're going to underline our subject. We don't have one here. Inspired by, we don't have, that's not a subject. So, but if we look here, we got William Carlos Williams. That's our subject. You're going to label it with an S for subject. Here's our subject here, William Carlos Williams. Label it with an S. Your predicate, he was inspired. That's your predicate because that's something he's doing. He was inspired. Write a P. I want you to go through the rest of these sentences. Label your subject and your predicate like we just did as well. You're going to continue to do this on another page here in a little bit, but I'm going to check this page tomorrow. I expect to see a complete sentence up here about your expert poet, as well as your sentence is labeled, the subject, the predicate, capital letters, punctuation. All right.